I just did an hour-and-a-half video, and I clicked the wrong button, and I wiped out the video. What I'm going to only tell you one thing. I'm only going to tell you one thing, okay? And I'm going to try and keep it short. When you take salt and the salt turns yellow, and your blood is blue electric with the red blood, okay, because of the yellow, okay, and the red that's in it would make it orange otherwise. You have the red blood with the blue electric in it. If you eat the yellow salt, you turn yourself black. If you take pink Himalayan salt, you are now taking the white and the red of your blood cells, and all you're doing is regenerating within. I'm not sure how much salt you need, but I think the salt is more for the blood, because the blood is a feeder and a reader to the brain of the 3 and the 4. Just to go over one thing right now, in position 1 and 9 are opposites of your keyboard. It's the only ones that stay under 10. But now you see number 17 and number 26 are positioned there as the Q and the Z. They each equal to 8. Well, if you take and add them together, it becomes number 43. 4 times 3, 4 plus 3 equals 12, and 7 equals 19. 19 only comes up 3 times in the French language. It's repeated as 10 et 9, 10 and 9. Then they're repeated as 60, which 60 is a representation of the clock. There's your mind. This is the clock. This is Mars. Mars, the sandbox, it's clock. And if you want to turn it this way, it's what the train tracks do. But Mars becomes the clock. 19 re-represents in the 60 region, but adding 19, saying 10, 9. Then it represents in the 90 region, saying 90, saying 80, and then saying 19. Now, one thing about the 99, okay, the first 19 is for man's brain and everything before him. Just like on the W, okay, just like on the W that goes up and down, there's 2 down and there's 1 up. So your two 19s of your brain to 1 19 of life is 57, okay. Number 43, which is in the 1 position, recreates 19, and we're already in the 1 position, and 9 brings it to a 10 world. So when you look at the game of roulette, number 10, the letter Jack, is the number 10 and also goes in the 1 position. So that counts for the same number as Jack, and number 19, 19, 19, and 57 equals moon, and 57 equals Ison. And on the roulette board, okay, it's a cigarette. It's just a cigarette. Here's the roulette table. When we get over here, we come to number 8. 8 is black, 11 is black. This becomes your 19 on the moon, spirit, angel, and man. We became 8 by pulling ourselves together. 5 and 3 became 8. How come? Here's the 5 in the center, and it traps this one, this one, this one, and this one. 3 and 8. Not 4, because 4 is the sandbox. 8 is where you are between the 2 sides. You are 8, because 4 is the left, 4 is on the right, and you're 0 in between. So if they're 4 and 4, you're 8. So if you're 8 and they're 4 and 4, you're 16. 8, 4, 4, 8. August and April. And the P letter for the low life, because the low life is the low life. I want to cry. That video didn't upload. But anyways, let me get back to this. And over here, okay, is number 13. Over here is number 10. 10 and 11 are black. This one, and this one. Black, black, black. It becomes 8, 11 is 19, and 10, 29. B and I. Two-way. By. It goes by. Two-way. B and I are 2 and 9. Okay. Also says T and I as it. The computer system is it because it's by. It goes both ways for the two worlds. It has to come from one world and it's got to go into a spirit world for a human to be able to think. At the same time it's waiting. Come on, human being. Think, think, think. I'm waiting for you. You made me forget now. So over here becomes number 11 and 10. Number 21 is on the dice. 10 and 11. J and K, both in the same family. Figures as much they would join together, would they not? Let me bring you one step higher. This is an H. It says A-C-E and H in its own word, and it's in the A family. And this is H-I-J is the 10th letter, and it's in the A family. And K is in the A family. This one is the H, the man of H. Okay? He is the heavens of H. Why? Because this one's a J-A and this one's an A-C-H-E. The electronic heavens, because he gets to go all the way in all the worlds. He runs the show. He is 8 of 8 of all 8s. That's why your piano is 36 and 52. 88. So now what happens over here is this becomes 8 and 10. The total was 29. 2 times 9 is 18. Connects to the worlds of 666. 2 plus 9 is 11. Connects to the two worlds of I and I. I and I. Connected together for H. Tic-tac-toe. What do you want to play? Eventually, I take this whole board here and put it all in the top and put all my numbers here. You have 29 from the 3 of those letters. And then after that, after the J, K, you have L, M, N, 3 letters in a row. Okay, and it looks like a bent over human being from a cartoon. You have 3 letters in a row that are in the E family. Okay, and they enter into the electronic family. So you have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 12 and 14 are red. 1 and 2 is 3. 14, 1 and 4 is 5. And you have 13. 13 would be this. But it would be actually this. 6 and 4. It would have Israel, Zion. You're connected to all the worlds inside here. Do you want to know what they call, I think, Mars and part of Lo Shu, the system? Anybody want to find Zion? I'm looking for Zion. Zion. Has anybody seen Zion? Oh, there you are. How you doing, Zion? Yeah, look. You come from the Urantia, Zion. Yeah, we lost a little bit of that cargo up there, eh, Zion? Israel might be the spindle of the pyramid, the prism. The prism might be Israel. But Zion might be the sandbox. It has 3 parts because that's a design, like a W, 1 down, 2 up, 2 sandboxes and 1 spinning head. But the 5 is in the center to the 2 and 4. So Israel and Zion and 0 is 6 and 4. And this happens to be 5 and 4, which is the sun. So that means it's 6, 5, and 4. Because F is in the E family. So automatically the F connects. So you had L, M, N. L is 17. M is 18. N is 19. Back to the moon over here on N. When N goes over here, we got the moon here. And which one is this? N. I got to write that down. N. 8, 19, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Now, really and truthfully, okay, no, that's not the right number. N is over here. but it's not over there. This is N with its sound of E. It brings it all the way up to the second level because N is right over here. The 14th letter is N. But when you hook the electronics up, right here on number 14, 1 and 4 is 5. This is number 5, the one spirit. For the first time, this is the sandbox of Mars. Plus you have the one spirit, the dot here, a dot here, a dot here, a dot here. Number 14 says I am one dot in the center, and then 4 on the round. Number 15 says something different. But 14 is number 5. So you get it here. This becomes the N letter. But it's not only the N letter. There's another letter at the beginning of the alphabet that's from the A family or the E family that might add up to come into the 14th position. G, H. H is way over. I, J is 10, K, L, M. There are none. The only one that matches N is E. Becomes EN because E is the 5th letter. N is the 14th letter. 1 and 4 is 5. So now that I calculate this over here, this remains the moon. This becomes 4 and 5, becomes 9. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 plus 4 is 9. It says it. This is the computer system. What happens with 20? When I put an X inside a single square, it chops the square into 4 equal parts. The total of the equal parts on your telephone are the crisscross of 1 and 9 and 3 and 7 equals 10, and 10 is 20. So you take 20 for the square and divide it into 4. That square is only worth 5. That's the E letter. And the same thing for over here. It repeats itself. We can overlap worlds, but right now we're showing you individual worlds. There are 12 floors. This becomes 9. It creates IT, and this, the 20th letter, is a T. And this, the 9th letter, is an I. Excuse me. No, we keep it as this, 29. That becomes T. Anyways, blank that out. 0, you can put a 15 there on 0. Plus 2 is 17. Plus 9 equals 26. Do you know why I did that? 0, add the 6 to it normally the way we do it, okay? So we get 26 becomes 8 and 9 becomes 17, like I marked over here, okay? That's the other way that how N connects its electricity scale is by the next morph is 0 equals 15. 2 plus 15 equals 17, okay? 17, okay, plus 9 is 26. I told you before we started at 26 with this one, and now we got 26 for the whole thing. So now 26 comes from 20. How does 26? Because 0 equals 6. Now from Z, which is the Z letter, it's a Z and an E, it becomes 26 and 5 becomes 31. So Z, the last letter, reconnects the creation of the spirit. I told you there's 3 parts of the moon. The moon equals 57. The small count is number 30, and then it reflects on number 6, which is the R letter. The R letter, okay, I'm going to try and find this. The R letter. There's many ways to design the R letter. The R letter is the 18th letter, and sigma in the Greek alphabet is the 18th letter, and sigma puts together a boundary for the outside of space, which is right here. See the crown? Okay, you see the lips over here? You can make this into Y's and this would be lips. But this, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 5 fits in a box. The X equals the 24th letter, but each individual V equals to 22. The 22nd and the 24th president, Grover Cleveland. The X equals to 24. The O equals to 15 equals to 39. It means 39 will tell us we have 3 worlds. 13, 13, and 13. 13 and 1, 13 and 2, and 13 and 3. In which is 14, 15, 16. And that, when we get to 16, it gives us the one spirit of light. The other thing about that, I don't think, does it give us 7 worlds? The spirit of 76, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay. Let me do it. Let me do it all the way. If we did it into the 13 worlds, we'd add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you add that, it goes 13 plus 6 is 19, back to the moon again. Okay. Now we can't play all these numbers, so I'm going to explain it to you. 6 and 1 is 7. 5 and 2 is 7. 4 and 3 is 7. Four and 3. Wow. 6 and 1 shows 6 and 1. 4 and 3. 4 and 3 will show 4 and 3. 6 and 1 will show 6 and 1. So that's why it's all these worlds. And in roulette, it's all red. They're all red. Another thing I wanted to mention is Bell, or electric company. Electric company is number 53. Look at that. An M and a V for Venus, and an M for Mercury, and an M for Mars. A W when it's upside down. What other planet is there? Earth. The E sideways. I can even put the sigma letter here. The sigma will make it go up and down and up and down 2 points. This M goes over this, it looks like a heart. Anyways, this comes into the center. Now look, you have this part here and this part here. Now you see, this is where Venus is. You see the W? There's 1 point in the middle of Venus that goes in, and there's 2 points like 2 butts of an ass. Okay? Now I'm going to jump around because I don't remember where I was. Okay? I was telling you about Bell Canada. You know what it is about Bell? Okay, and they only use 7 numbers, is the B is number 2, and it's in the E family for number 5. It stands for Earth. It stands for heart. And it says B11. The 2 L's are B11. Earth, création. Creation, earth. Earth is a material. You know what I think? I think that the hands of time are nothing more than earth and the sandbox. No value whatsoever. As long as those things are turning around, you're thinking. But if they stop moving, you stop thinking. The earth and the sandbox is what passes the electricity and what goes into that soul thinking pattern mode. I can't believe I lost an hour-and-a-half video. That was a fantastic video. I explained number 19 on the telephone on the 1 key. Because on the 1 becomes 4 and 3. 4 and 3 create 19, back to the key they're on. This is short line. See the way it goes 8, 8. At the beginning, we were going 1, 2, 3. But then man comes into this world, it goes on this angle. There's his head, there's his tail, there's his 2 arms. He's missing 1 leg. Do you know why? Because his 9 birth plays from his head. Okay? His 9 birth plays from inside of him. Or he retains the 9 birth, which could be his DNA sperm. The other thing is, this would become Lo Shu. This would become number 2. This would be, no, this would be 4. This would be 2. This would be 8. This would be 6. Also, in this, these are the trains. So now they switch the numbers on Lo Shu, but how can they switch the trains? Maybe they don't switch the trains, okay, on Lo Shu. This one is number 11, becomes number 2, becomes number 3, becomes number 4. Jail. There is no go. Jail is right here. Go to jail, number 31, 30 on the dice roll, 30 and 31 equals 61. 61 moons of Saturn. Don't tell me there's 64. Don't tell me there were 53. There's nothing to do with how many there are right now. At a certain time, a few years ago, that's what it had to do with. If I want to work on something new, I'm going to bring new things into it. So you go to jail 3031. Over here is short line rail, number 36. This is Jupiter. Jupiter and Saturn. Saturn, you're going to jail. Jupiter, you're riding the railway. See the M, Mountaineers? Where is Mountaineer Racetrack? I need to know. Another thing about the R, we all know the R is 6, 6, and 6, or 5, 6, and 7. 5 of the electric of F, because F connects this side to this side. F hooks up here and F hooks up here. V is a 5, V is a 5, V connects, but the F is actually an S, okay? But it connects to the V because everybody knows E, F is the sound, and they connect 5 and 6. See the leg that was missing over there? We were talking about 10 before. We were talking about short line rail. We were talking about why it's go to jail. All of a sudden everything got mixed up, and now they put the corner over here. This is where Pennsylvania was, number 16, the one spirit of the sixth light. Now Pennsylvania's not here, Pennsylvania's here. Over here is go to jail. The one spirit of sixth light says go to jail. Train tracks is where you are actually. But if they switch around the train tracks, what they're putting here is go to jail. What they're putting here is Pennsylvania. So when you go the freedom right into here, go to jail, the one spirit of light, you're already in jail. You haven't left jail. But the leg is missing on this, because on this side is 2 properties, on this side is 2 properties. Everybody else has got 3 properties around. 2, 0, 2. See the mouse? It may look like a mouse. Tail on the mouse. The nose is short, the tail is long. Could be a scorpion. Did we follow it, what we were doing? 10 in French is DIX. It also says, look, Roman numerals. But in English, it's 10 with a T. And isn't it ironic that you go 4 and a D goes 40? And 4 and a T and it goes 4T. 8 and a D, 8D. 80. 4 and a D, 40. When you say 60, they say the swan. Why? Because that S, it's a swan, or it's a big F, a fancy F. The sigma that comes into the game, okay, is the 18th letter, 666. The R is the 18th letter. This is where the R is created, right here. When man starts to walk, okay, I'm not sure exactly, but man starts to walk right here. Here's his feet, 1 foot here, 1 foot here. He makes his body stand tall. That's when R starts to walk. 18 and 18 becomes 36. Man starts to walk at 36. 2 parts of the R to create this, I and I worlds. The I and I worlds have a total of 18 in each. 18 and 18 is 36. We're on the short line, creates number 9. Now if we're creating number 9, we'd be right next to the vicinity of go to jail or Pennsylvania. Remember what I said, the one spirit light? So if you're riding the rail, you get the one spirit light. Go to jail. When they put you go to jail here, something else must be understood with it. And after that, I'm not sure what it is. The pitchfork. Have you ever seen what the pitchfork and the devil is? It's this. You see the E? Well, what happens when you design this E in one square only, in its own square, the lines on the outside will come right across the huge square that's within it here and here. But here, it'll be divided by 2 sides, which makes your E and your F. And the reason why E and F go together. I told you the creation of 666 comes from the R. How do I know? All the little kids say Wani. They're still working with BC. When Jesus was born, before the death and after the death, BC is Jesus Christ. So now they're with the 666, okay, from BC. So now they're still saying Wani because they changed the W for an R. And it says Ronnie instead of Wani. Or to win, I and E. Another thing I wanted to show is these little designs. All I do is I extended just one. It was all like this. Then I extended all these little lines, just a single line. And if you look at it, it becomes HI, HI, HI. H and I, 17. Each one of these H's and I's equals 17. 17 and 17, 34. Barack Obama and JFK. H and I, 17. This 1 and 7 go together, creates the egg. Each one of these creates the egg. But you only create one egg in the center, okay, from both sides, the magic carpets. So 17 and 17 is 34, and it stands for 1. 68 is the total for man's birth, and it's right here. And take a look if I put I's on it. So H and I, H and I, H and I, or H-O-H. You see, you can do it this way. You can do it H-O-H this way, or H-O-H this way. So H-O-H is 8, and 15 is 23, and 8 is 31, and 31 becomes 62. You add it up to the doghouse. See the 1, 5, 2 and 4? They're both 6. 3 and 3, 2 and 4, 1 and 5. Each for its own reason. If you take a look, Mars, Venus, Mars is 4 and Venus is 4. Why? Because the M is the 13th letter. The V is the 22nd letter. 2 and 2 is 4. 1 and 3 is 4. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why that's the Mars-Venus project. They don't call it the Earth project because for me, the Earth is the little bit of sand that's in your mind that the spindles are going through. You heard what I said at the beginning. Red and white blood cells. Red and white blood cells. You get yellow salt, it turns it black. You take pink Himalayan salt with red and white, since it's the same color, I guess it'll stay the same and follow the grain. Well, let's follow the grain. Let the salt run in the brain. Let the salt, oh my God, oh I can't wait to, oh my God, I'm definitely going to buy it. I just noticed something. Oh, I'm going to think differently for sure. Anyways, there's all these. This is not what I want to show you. I showed you, this is like a hockey net, right? It's like a hockey thing. It's the 8 card. If it came together, it looked like KK11. It's showing out the electricity. The cards on the side. 3 down here and 3 down here. 2 in the center. This is your 8. It's also your 6 and your 7. The reason for the 7 card is I showed you before, because there's a property missing on the corner near go. Did I show you this part here, or was that in the last video? Where the N is the moon down here, and the N connects to the 9 down here. This one becomes 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 9. This one is 9, N and N in both positions, because the sound brings it here. So this one and this one connects to each other, and it says Nen, like saying 9, like a full connection. When you have a full connection, you got 9. If you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you have 10. Because 10 is the total of what you had before. So now you're showing another thing in the French language. They always say when it's 17, 18, and 19, because it's part of the Trinity, when it's 17, 18, and 19, QRS, when it's QRS, okay, it is 51, it is 54, it is 57, and in French they'll say 9, they'll say 7, 8, and 9 all separately. Not only that, but when you get to the hold on a second. When you get to the L, it's 17. When you get to the M, it's 18. When you get to the N, it's 19. And this is passed over with the S, this is passed over with the R, and this is passed over with this. This is what happens. These numbers overlap from here because it's central. 5 is a central number, it's electronic. Elohim, 1 and 7, M, 18, N, LMN, Alemen. Now, I don't know. Rem, mare, the ocean, the mother, REM sleep. She's the queen. N is the spirit. M is the angel resident. L is the queen, the electronic. She's the one who puts her leg in the sandbox and spins it all around. But the sandbox in the doghouse, you see, even if she got her finger in mixing up in the dog pound, she's in the dog pound of Mars where the sand is and the sharks are. So even if she reads what's in there, all there are lies and all kinds of terrible stories. Beta, see the W? Two sides, one in the middle. All the information, you see this, goes right to the middle of the head. The electricity goes all the way down, and everything else gets split up. This is the roulette board. This is how the first 9 numbers connect. 2, 4, 6, 8 are owned by the 5 key over here. 5 takes 2, 4, 6, and 8, and it dishes out whatever it has to do. I have to break that up. I shouldn't even mention it. It equals to 2020. X is 20, and this one is 20. This one is 5, so it'll be 20 and 25. 20 and 25 says Fox. The high and the low of the first row is 35, 37, 39. This one breaks up into 3 13s. This one breaks up to your H and I, 17 and 20. The Q and the T, the QT, which comes together. This means the spirit world is under this is the silent world under the QT. Maybe they shouldn't be a Venus world the way there is. And then there's the first world over here, which is the world of the sandbox and the prism in this world over here, the 7th moon. I'm going to open this up a little bit more. Inside of here, okay, is a P and a D. It is an E. It's Johnny Depp. This is a J. You see this opening over here? It splits. It goes down and opens. It comes around. You see the J? Comes around. Comes around. See it? Yeah, you can make up anything you want. A coincidence about John F. Kennedy. The exit was 43. The address is 265. There is no 34. The exit is actually also 41. In this world, you are 20 and you are 21. Now, I did it in the last video, why, and I don't remember what it was, but I'm very sick that I messed it up. Your thyroid gland is a butterfly. I don't think it's good. I think there's something wrong about it. When you go to number 1 plus 15, it equals 16. When you go to number 2 plus 15, it equals 17. Now, when I was talking to you before about the E and N and the L and the M, well, the 3 and 0 equals 15. Okay, this would be, do you understand what I'm saying? 0 equals 15. 3 plus 15 equals 18. Now we have to go back a page. We have to go back a page, and now 18 would be your REM sleep. Electric memory board or something. RAM, electric memory RAM. This is your 18. This is your HA. So, thinking. Yeah, I'm very, very, very upset. This is the 8 card. This is the electronics coming down. This is your split world. See V and V, 5 and 5, 11, 11, K and K. I'm very upset. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that it could be this way, and this just keeps turning around, or like this, and it keeps grinding in between the two sides, trying to figure out what it's thinking, bringing in. We're in a spirit world, that's for sure. I can see it now. I can see it now. President Kennedy, okay, is sitting on a moon called Triton, listening to everything everybody's talking about on Earth right now, because he's still alive. Oh, there's a lot of things, man. The frog, the prince, yes. You're a big noodle, it says. The frog says you're a grenouille, you're a big needle. And you're on cat pat. You're on 4 legs. You're 4 by 4. If you're 4 by 4 equals 16 equals the flight of the phoenix. Something to do with how we're thinking is the flight of the phoenix. Then you have to think of Phoenix, Arizona. Then you have to think of Lake Mead and the train system. And then the train system of a monopoly. Yes, I was talking about John F. Kennedy. And you can get off at any one of these 2 exits. The total's 84. 48 Super Bowl this year. 4 by 8, 4 plus 8 is space. 265 is the address. Howling at the moon. Because there's more than one moon and you howl at the moon. How come? Thurston Howell III. What is it about the howl? Look, it's the water well. the water well of information. 2 times 6 is 12, times 5 is 60. The 60 seconds on the clock. Anyways, it's not really a big deal. It's not. My video before was so much better. Pierre Elliott Trudeau, 2005 to 2016. I guess he was the one spirit light, the electronic light, almost like saying bell. So if you're saying bell, we're not talking anymore just light. We're talking about communication. We're talking about phone lines, and we're talking about wiring underneath the ground. So he put in the wiring underneath the ground. Pierre Elliott Trudeau we must try to figure out Pierre Elliott Trudeau and Bell Canada, the telephone company, is very important. Then it says, his last name says water, watering hole. It says roof. It says rocks and air. It says elephant on the roof. It says her. It says we're in the Stone Age. What did he do? Now I'm going to... Oh, I have something to drink? I'm going to get a drink. I'll be back in a minute. My God, you know what? What time is it? 7:30? I've been here since 4 o'clock. I did almost an hour and 45 minutes per video. And I pressed the turn thing. I don't know why I did that. And an hour and a half video, and it went away. I can just tell you one thing. After that video, my confidence of the reality of the world I see is more true than anything else. It is real, my friends. You can drop dead right now and you're going to be somewhere else the next time you get up. That's the part we all have to understand. We might not just get up right away. And then again, maybe we will. Maybe we won't have to go into a special room and look at our lives. But still, it'll be a little confused. But don't worry. You have service every time you think. Drink like a fish. What do you think about, listen to this, I don't drink eight glasses of water, and I barely drink any milk. I'll have a little cheese, but I don't know if I want a curdle. Because if there was a duck, imagine if there was a duck in the sand trap of Mars in my head, the ducks, the ear ducts, you blow your nose, the ducts open up, the ducks go south because you think too much. Or you don't think enough, and their legs will freeze, and their legs will get cut off because it's the paddle, it's the oar, it's a thinking mechanism in your pineal gland or your brain. %300 vitamin B, 300% vitamin B12, 120% B6, 30% zinc, 30% magnesium, calcium. My thing with this is, my question with this is no matter how much it has in it, is it chemical or is it real? Something wrong with it. It's way too good. Okay, so the thing with John F. Kennedy is not only that, not only is this John F. Kennedy, but in the Monopoly game, the first 41 on your dice, you're on the Mediterranean. 41, the roll of the dice, brings you to the Mediterranean for the first time. 43 brings you to the Baltic for the second time. It's 84. That's this year's Super Bowl. This is space. This is Barack Obama. This is the space of 88. Why space of 88? 44 left, 44 right, except you crisscross this. You crisscross this, the G letter. You know when they create the Las Vegas? Here's an L. and here's a V, Las Vegas. They put this over the top because you have the top part, which is dry, and then you have the sand. Somehow it's like a beach, okay? And either you can go into the water, okay, but you might get shocked in there. Something's in there. And this is where your brain is, the sand trap of Mars. So it's on top and below. And if this was half of what it was supposed to be, this will end up to be the G letter that has that little hook on the other side of it. So I keep seeing John F. Kennedy. I keep seeing it. And Barack Obama made a very, very nice presentation. He made a very nice presentation when he was there. So I went to JF Kennedy Boulevard, and the address was 265, which is the number of the sun, which is the number of space. Again, in the last video I showed something about number 4 and number 8, okay, and April and August and how much it meant, and now I can't actually exactly tell you everything about it. All I know is that it's all real in my head. It's all real. April, it's like the ape. June, in French, it says 1. September, it says the sea point or the dew point. Novia, Novia, the lover. Nova Scotia locks. Why? Okay, now it's Spanish. Tell me about the Spanish. Via rail. Nova Scotia locks. Nova Scotia locks because they go up. Where does the train go from Colorado? Does it go up to Las Vegas? Is that a special train? Is it a salmon train? There's something they bring on the train that has to go up into the waters of Lake Mead for the same reason they ran the waters of Lake Mead. How long has it been since they ran the waters of Lake Mead? And my question is something going to grow out of the ground? That's pretty weird. Why did they look gray on the screen? The other thing I wanted to say is 10, and this in French, TD. TD says the cat. TD is the touchdown. 4 and 8 are the only two numbers that can really be used with them, 4D and 80. And 4T and 8T. Oh, let's go to Haiti. So now we know there's something in Haiti. They had to bring people down to Haiti. So they created a storm. What is the difference of Haiti today than before the storm came to Haiti? Does anybody have the answer? The salmon go up the river. The alternate route. Salt. The spirit. The alternate route. The brass of a drum. Say the horse. It says H an hour. It says hour. It says at the same time Zion in Israel, because this is 33, which is 240, and 24 is 264. It's 10 days later than after 9/11, before the hour. Why? Because it's not a person who died, it's a building. Take 10 off. Buildings don't have value of Venus. They're value of Saturn. All buildings are big. They're owned by Saturn. Saturn is a world in its own. It's like the Jetsons. When you say says at the end to say something, you can also say this word size. It's also Einstein, and you can say it's the time clock, because this Z is an N. If it's on an angle, put a Z and an N together, it becomes the hourglass of time. But regardless, says is 16. It's also 4 p.m. 4 times 4 makes 16, the one spirit of the light. Size means to seize, and after says it becomes 17, 18, 19. Automatically, the three of them are included in each other. 7, 8, and 9 goes with 1, 2, 3, and make the 10, 10, 10 world of 1000 of M of Roman numerals. This says the hour of time. Tim Hortons, TH is time heaven. 4 by 4 is 16, 4 by 4 is 8. This is the flight of the phoenix. 6 and 1 is 7. 4, but now it's 4 p.m. would be 4, 7, 4. Is right here, and this is 7 here. It says 4, 7, 4, 7. It'll say Einstein here. 7 by, and it'll also say 1776. It'll say man on the moon. Man stuck on the moon. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 plus 7 is 11 equals 39. It's part of the creation of 8. of the 8th world, the 3 worlds of 8 creation. Why is it 1-8? One is the 1-6? Because listen, if 2 go out and you have a 7 world, there can only be 5 left. And if 5 are left and it was in the 2 world, there's only 2 in between. 2 in between 5 is 3 and 4. That's what Earth is. Earth is Venus. Venus is part of 2 and 5 Earth. Heart is 52. Jack is 52. But at the same time, B and E, as Bell, is also 52. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 and 5 is 7. 107. Add the 6 in between, you have 167. You have the spirit of man. 1 plus 6 is 7. The 1 spirit of the 6 light. Did you understand why I did that? Because the 0 in 107 becomes a 6. 52 is also of the 7 world. And 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, equals to the 17, which is the first letter of the piano A and the last letter of the piano G. But G is an assembly of A and F, because G is not created unless A and F come together. G is the gateway. It becomes the center. G7. G7. That's why the G goes here and then comes back to the corner. It goes here and back to the corner. 7, 8, and 9 world, back to its corner. 7, 8, and 9. 9 plays from the center. So it plays from the center. It needs a plateau. But it's boxed in by everybody else anyways. So that's what you end up here. 4 p.m., 4 by 7, you end up with 39. So E is 5. I is 9. Equals 14. 14th letter is N. That'll total 28. 4 by 7 is 28. And there's 28 days and 13 months of the year. If you went every single month, you have 8 and 21. You have 29 days a year, okay, outside the 28-day mark. So let's do it this way. We have 28 days times 13. Then we have 2 days times 4. Then you have 3 days times 7. So you would get 21 and you would get 8. This is on the roulette and it's in the center. Okay? 28 is right next to it. This and this is saying I'm going on piano center C and I'm going to have a child. I'm going to use my right hand thumb. My right hand thumb will touch center C and it'll be right here. Or I'll be on D. C and D on the piano. If you go on the piano C and D, again, the prism and the sand trap of Mars. 28 and 29 also stands for ISON. So ISON and icicles is the key to put a freeze on man. So ISON, one of these ships that are coming is not a good ship. Okay, that's what it says. But again, because the other world, both worlds have to be coming. There's got to be something that's going on. When you put these two together, it makes 57. It stands for ISON, and it also stands for the moon. This one stands for IT, the IT world, the T and the I, the IT. It also stands for the world of 666. So now, since this world stands for 666, and you're talking about number 28, which is the highest you can get, to an end of beta, the head of beta, to an 8, Neptune, which means Neptune is man's head, and Venus would be between his legs. Why would Venus be between his legs? Because it's a V. And the shoulders is Earth, it's the E, the clavicle. 2 times 4 days, because there's 4 months of 30 days, and there's 7 months of 31 days. I get 21, which is the cube. I get 8, which is the heaven. 7 by 3. And 8 equals to that number over here. Did you follow me with that? Sometimes I'm a little too quick. Sometimes I miss. Did we speak about April is an ape? June means number 1. The scepter is the C point. Yes, we did. We talked about the cat scratch. We talked about the pearl. Let me just say one thing, okay? 6 is on this side. 1 is on this side. We need 5 to get 6. Right? But we need 4 is what's in between. 2, 3, 4, 5 are 4 numbers in between. Now we'll flip it over. This is 3. 1. There's one number in between 1 and 3, and there's 2 numbers in between 4 and 5. So you have to look at all of the differences of what you're looking at. Here's 1, so that would be 0. What's in between 1, 2? It's 1, 2, and 3. So it'd be 0, 3. It'd be 0, 0, 3. How many numbers between this one and this one? None. I mean, how many numbers between this one and this one? There are none. Yes, there are. 0.5. 0.5 or 1, 2, 3. Your fingers. You have 5 fingers. In between each one is nothing. If you go 0.3, okay, no, excuse me. Let me show it to you on the dice. When you go between 1 and 2, it's 1.5. So the difference is 5. Because there is no 5 difference. That's why you can say it. Because if you say 5, 1 and 5 make 6. So 5 automatically, you know what's in between. So if you say 5, 2, okay, that means there must be 2 numbers between 2 and 6. And there's no numbers there. So I have to look for a new number. 2. I have to look for a new number that's 2 difference. 3. Okay. Here. There's 2 difference. 4 and 5. Okay. 4 and 5 makes 2 difference. And this makes 1 difference. So this makes 1 and 4. So you get 3, 6, and 4. That's creation of the Earth, Mars, and standing man. Those are the 3 numbers. Because once 3 goes into it, okay, actually the 5, how can I show it? 3, 6, and 4, okay, that means you have 7, 13. That's your 13 worlds, and you get your light. Terrible explanation. I know that. Let me show you one thing. This equals 5, this equals 5, this equals 5, this equals 5. This equals 7. This equals 7. This equals 7. So what do you have? You have 7, 5, 5, 7. That's the Hebrew New Year next year, 5775. 7755 is also 42 plus 123 times 47. Equals 7755. It also equals 165 times 47, if I'm correct. This equals 1974. 19 is the moon, 74 is the Jesus Christ. The 1, 2, 3 of the ABC of the Michael Jackson of the 10 and 13, which is Delta. Okay, creation with Venus and Earth created man as the wolf, the white wolf over here. Again, 2, 3, and 4 is missing because that's the jail we are in. That happens to be something, the Mars, whatever it's in our head, those swimming pools. They're swimming pools of some sort. Now, is it a swimming pool that's going in our head, the sandbox? Or now, what I have not said before, is there somewhere in the world that they're spraying it on us, for our mind to be blinded? Because don't forget, we can be blinded. You want me to explain to you how? When I'm when I'm depressed and down and out and sad or I'm nervous about something for no reason, and I take an Ativan, do you know how good I feel? It's almost like somebody took every piece of stress away from me. And the doctor, my doctor, is only worried if I'm going to overdose on them. All I want is to feel good. And if I'm not feeling good, I'd like to come. I mean, I'll go to the doctor. But that's the last thing I want to do. And that's all they think of doing. They lock you up. They change your whole idea. They lock you up. They don't talk to you. They don't let you out because they don't trust you. You can't trust everybody. If you bring yourself in or you come in, and it depends how you come in, it depends how you should be treated. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal. But they treat us all like criminals in there. They wonder how come you're not eating anymore. Hey man, I just gained 5 pounds. What, you want me to eat some more? They think your logic is no longer good. If I'm nervous, it has nothing to do with my logical thinking. If you're going to do something irrational, it would be because the drug is forcing you to think that way. The 3 sides I showed you, 35, 37, 39, 35, 37, 39. The average of this is 74. There are 37 numbers on the roulette wheel, and the number for the center is Nibiru. The black in this row will equal 30, 36, 35, 37, 39. 76, the spirit of 76, the ESP planets. 72, the H and I worlds. These are the 2 worlds we should be in right now. 57, 75, this is where we're coming from. This is our birth. This is something they're doing with our mind. The 9 must be the science lab or something. Anyways, there's a lot of things. I didn't get everything done. I wanted to explain Gaia, okay, 1-7. Gaia is the beginning of the piano keys. That's how it all begins. And at the same time, she becomes the winning numbers in the game of craps, which is used as 7 as average, in which they join together 6 and 8, 9 and 5, and 10 and 4, the 3 worlds equaling to 42. The Gaia puts it together, and it becomes the 2 moons and the 7th gate of the 8th world. So the 7th gate of the 8th world might be the pin in the center. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but again, Bell, 52. Why is Bell 52? Because the B in the E family says 5 and 2. But you take apart these letters, it's created with 1 and 3. 1, 3, 5, and 2. There's no 4. And there was another word I did. 1, 2, 3, and 5. There's another word I did with 1, 2, 3, and 5. Oh yes, oh my God. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, and 5. I'm going to try and show it to you one more time, because now I lost it. B50, oh yeah. Oh my God. I'm happy. Look at this. Bell, which is under the ground. Bell is under the ground. If it's under the ground, it's Jupiter. Okay? Bell is under the ground. It becomes these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 5, because this is the 13. 1, 2, 3, 5 creates 7 times 5 is 35. 7 plus 5 is 12 equals 47. The number for time, the number for Jesus. I'm so sure of everything. This becomes Gaia. Gaia turns into 63. Comet. She also turns into, she has her head in both moons, on both sides. 127. This is again part of Nibiru. Here, the word El says she and know her. These 2 balls are which 2 planets, or which 2 moons? She is not on these 2 moons. Which moons is she not on? Do you understand? This would be Earth, the light of Earth, E and L, because there's 2 balls. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. My cat just came onto my dresser, stole a dice, and ran onto the floor throwing it around. So you know what that means, right? You want to connect to the 14 worlds? You connect, this is your hat you put on from beta. Could be that thing right here in our throat. Skipping rope for beta, 2 sides, and when one side keeps skipping around it, and this is what you end up with. Pearl Harbor, pearls, the Japanese, pearls. Pearl Harbor, the Japanese, Google showed a note inside their pages of pearls. 2 worlds connect to 1. Here's Venus, the U world, connected to 1 world, the center world. You're skipping rope. And that was Gaia. I did the thing for the banks already. Bell Saturn, Bell Jupiter, heel to toe, point to foot, brass drums, vibrations. Gold, okay, has the same numbers as the size of the moon. Gold has the same numbers as the size of the moon. I'm doing another video. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. My cat just came back to steal something else. Thank you for watching.